Let us start once again. We have just gone through the K is a torsional but 1 to K is a restraint coefficient. It is assumed that in the above analysis that the E and alpha are independent of the temperature itself. But in an elastic formation, continuum, elastic means continuum in a range of elastic elements or a range of elements which is supposed to be elastic in nature. The temperature change is not a uniform throughout. It is not uniform. It is a function of time and the space coordinates. It is a function of T is actually T within bracket T, the temperature X, Y, Z. Hence T is the temperature, T is the temperature of the point of coordinate temperature of the coordinate X, Y, Z. So the body under consideration may be restrained from expansion or movement in some region, and external traction may be applied in the other region. Which means, what is the external traction itself? If the body tends to move in a particular area due to the change in temperature, and other portion of his body is not changing its temperature, changing its dimension, as if it is not that heated, then the external portion may contract. That external portion, which is not that heated, may contract, and not allow other portion to expand. Now, thus the determination of the stresses under such a situation may be extremely complex. So in this chapter, we are restricting ourselves again to a lot of assumptions like this: thin circular disk. And this is the following item only: thin circular disk with symmetrical temperature variation. Hence, if there is an axis which bisects this circular element, circular disk, and where this both sides of the circular disk, circumference on both sides of this axis is exactly similar, then long cylindrical cylinders, hollow and solid. It can be both hollow and it can be a solid, long circular cylinders. Spheres, which purely radial variation. Their temperature variation is totally radial, not in any other direction. Both hollow and both solid. Straight beams on arbitrary cross section. Straight beams cross section can be anything. May not be only square or round or anything. Next, curved beams, which is already curved, and due to the presence of temperature, it is presence of external load. It changes dimension. It changes stress in stress coordinate. But here also, with changing temperature, the curved beams also change in shape, and thus that allows tension and contraction in some portion according to the increase or decrease in temperature of your surroundings. All these specific problems are analyzed. We shall develop the general thermoelastic stress-strain relation and discuss two apparent general results itself. Hence, thermoelastic stress-strain, stress and strain relation when there is a change in temperature or change in addition of heat and subtraction of heat. What is the stress-strain relation that we are supposed to discuss? Now, what is this thermoelastic stress-strain relation? Let us go through it. Say a body. Body is made of a large number of small physical elements. Here we are thinking not the strips, but small cubical elements which is surrounding the body, with which the body is made itself. If the temperature in all these elements are uniformly raised and uniformly lowered, and if the boundary of the body remains is unconstrained, then all the cubical elements will expand uniformly and all will fit together to form a continuous body. So many things we are asking for that. First of all, the boundary of the body is unconstrained, means there is no restriction of the increase or decrease in the boundary of the body due to some external application or some force or some supports like this. All the cubical elements, this is essentially made of cubical elements and which is totally homogeneous in the character. And all the cubical elements expand uniformly, not that one will expand more and another will expand less. And if they fit together, will form a continuous body. And all of them will make a continuous body, and due to rise and fall in temperature, there should not be any breakage or any cavity or any space inside the section itself. But if, however, the temperature rise is not uniform, each element will tend to expand in a different manner. So first, so many conditions will apply only when there is uniform rise in temperature. But if there is a fluctuation in the rise in temperature, then each of these chemical elements may not expand same, and it will not expand same. It is expand by a different amount, and the elements have to fit together to form a continuous body. To make a continuous and usable body, all these elements supposed to be fit together because they are not expanding or contracting in the same amount, because the rise in temperature and falling temperature is not uniform and not uniform everywhere of the body itself. Then only the distortion of the body cannot be avoided, and consequently the stresses itself should occur in the body itself. So we have to keep our job is to keep the body together in spite of this uneven increase or decrease in temperature, and this effort in order to keep the body temperature will create a stresses inside the body itself. Now, so the things are very clear here. First, there are cubical elements of same size. All of them, there is no surface traction. No surface traction. The rise in temperature is uniform, and body will change its shape uniformly. But if there is uneven rise in temperature, there will be stress induced in the body. Now, the total strengths at each point of the body are thus made up of two parts. The support of the one part has a uniform expansion proportional to the temperature rise for any element of cubical element of an isotropic body, which means it has same properties in all three directions. The expansion is the same in all. Expansion is same in all directions, and in this matter, the only normal strength and no shearing strength occurs. What will be like this? Now, first of all, the bodies at each point of the body are thus made of, each point or each cube of the body is made up of two parts itself. The first part is a uniform expansion proportional to the temperature rise. For any elementary cubic element of an isotropic body, means a body whose has same property in all three mutually perpendicular direction, and this expansion is same in all direction itself. As the property is same, it will expand in three different directions all by a same amount always. And this matter only normal strains and no shearing stress in strain is created. So there will not be no shearing stress, only normal stress is created. And if the coefficient of thermal expansion is alpha, the normal strain in any direction is proportional to alpha into rising temperature itself. But second term of the strain is at each part is due to the stress components. This total strain in each part is therefore written as like this. Second part is due to stress component, means a portion, first part, there are two parts. We imagine two parts of the body. First part, that is, this cube is uniform. The size of the cubes are uniform. All cubes are isotropic in nature. Sure. The same property in all three directions, and they will increase uniformly in all three directions. I mean, all three directions. And they will not create any stress inside the body. Another portion of body is there. Second part, the rise in temperature is not uniform. Here, the temperature rise is uniform. In the second part, the stress is only normal stress. Stress is only only normal stress, normal strain in fact. Only normal stress and only normal stress will induce and it will expand equally normally. Only and no shear stress will form. At second part, at the second part, that each point is due to a stress component. The strains induced in each part is due to strain components, stress components. Now, the second part of the stress at each point is due to strain component itself. The total strain in each point can be therefore written as epsilon x in strain in x direction 1 by E sigma x minus gamma sigma y and sigma z multiplied by alpha into t. This portion is this portion is the first part, this portion is second part. Here, the cubical element is allowed to expand freely, and it is the strain is created in normal direction, and there is no shear strain, and strain is created in every three directions. So it's due to the effect of Poisson's ratio, strain created in one direction is reduced by the lateral strain created in other two longitudinal direction itself. And this is with this we have to add the change in temperature, stress created due to the strain created due to change in temperature, that is equal to alpha into t. That is the second part. That is second part. Same means epsilon y in y direction, epsilon z in y direction, and another thing is now comes in play. Gamma xy shear strain is given by tau xy divided by g, gamma yz tau yz divided by g, and gamma zx tau yz divided by g itself. The stress thus can be expressed explicitly in terms of Hooke's law itself, given by this particular equation in chapter 9, which is given as sigma x lambda into E plus 2 into mu lambda minus 3 lambda plus 2 mu into alpha t, where lambda and mu are coefficients or constants. Same is sigma x, sigma y, sigma z. The stress is given by epsilon x, and first given by the lambda into E plus 2 into mu epsilon x plus 2 into mu epsilon x, lambda x plus alpha into t, and this is the stress due to the uniform stress with the rise and fall in temperature in all the cubes. This is x direction, y direction, and z direction, and this is the stress induced due to the change in temperature itself. This is reduced, this is the increase in length, and this is trying to reduce the increase. That's why it is subtracted from each other, and there is a negative sign in between there. And tau xy remains mu tau yx, and tau yz mu tau yz, and tau zy is mu tau zx itself, which is remains another coefficient itself. The lambda constant lambda and mu is equal to g, given by gamma psi into u divided by 1 plus psi into 1 minus 2 into psi, mu it is equal to g into multiple e is equal to divided by 2 into 1 plus psi. These are all executed in our strain and stress chapter itself. Now let us go through the equation of equilibrium. The equation of equilibrium are the same for isothermal bodies, where temperature is supposed to be the same and is not changing in temperature itself. So it is same for where there is a change in temperature. Same equation has been change in temperature, and due to change in temperature there is elasticity also change. So what you see here, isothermal elasticity means due to change in temperature, elasticity property is not changing; it remains as it is, and it is increasing in temperature as if there is no rise and fall in temperature itself. Now, this thermoelastic properties are based only purely mechanical consideration. So rise and fall in temperature is not an important in this issue. In this equations of equilibrium itself. In rectangular coordinate system, these are given by this equation, you know, delta sigma x by dx, delta sigma tau xy by delta y, delta tau xz by delta z plus y into x is equal to 0, where delta sigma x is the rate of change of stress in x direction, tau xy is the shear stress which is in along the walking along the plane of is working in x or y plane, and direction is along x axis, and its rate of change of this shear stress with the change in y, and same is the case with delta z, and gamma x is the body force component itself. Means certain triangulating gravitation force is always acting over the body as per our earlier discussion, and this should be added. It is as a gamma x, as if this is the amount of force acting in x direction itself. Similarly, the same amount of force tau xy divided by dx, tau sigma y by dy, tau zy by dx, etc. Zy by zz is plus gamma y is equal to 0, and tau xy itself and tau xy divided by del x del tau xy by del y, and del tau xz by del z plus gamma x is equal to 0 itself, and tau xy by x, tau the sigma tau y by y is same itself, and delta tau y x z divided by dx, delta of tau y z by dy plus delta sigma x by delta z plus gamma x is equal to 0. If gamma x, gamma y, and gamma z are all body force component itself. Now let us go through. This is the this is called the equation of equilibrium itself. Means when a body or body under consideration is in equilibrium, there is no unbalanced force elsewhere if they follow this type of equilibrium, and when they follow this equation, means any rate of change in any direction in x, y, and z, and as well as xy, xz plane or yz and zx plane itself, these are all balanced and their summation is equal to 0 itself. There is no unbalanced force, so that's why it is called the equation of equilibrium itself. Now the stress and displacement relation is here. Now only geometrical considerations are involved in deriving stress and displacement itself. Since the equations are the same in isothermal elasticity itself. In rectangular coordinates, these are given by equation 218 and 18, which is given here like this: f psi x dux by ex, f psi y duy by di, f psi z duz by dz. Means this is the rate of change of the dimension in x direction of our body. Rate of change of dimension along x-axis, rate of change of dimension of the body in the y direction along y-axis, and the rate of change of the body in z direction along z-axis. And the shear strain induced here is that the longitudinal strength induced in x, and y, and z direction. This is the shear strain induced in xy plane, and which is working along y direction, x direction, yz in gamma yz in is the strain induced in z-axis, yz plane induced, and it is indicated in y direction, and gamma zx is the shear strain induced in zx plane. It is pointed towards, and along this it is along the z-axis itself. So how we are finding? We have done it like this: the rate of change of Vx in terms of y plus rate of change of Uy in terms of x. That is the shear strain. Shear strain itself. Two, what is the effect of the change in stress due to the change in y direction? What is the effect of change in x direction? And due to change in x direction, what is the effect of the psi in y direction itself? Similarly, gamma yz and gamma zx are of same nature. Now, what happens here? Some general results. When the temperature distribution is known to us, the problem of thermoelasticity consists in determining the following 15 functions. But we have strict step component sigma x, sigma y, sigma z, as well as tau xy, tau yz, tau zx. So 3 longitudinal stress in 3 longitudinal axes and 3 shear stress, which is around y x-axis, z y-axis, and z-axis, which is given in terms of is creating a torsional force x, y, and z in around x-axis, around y-axis, around z-axis, and 6 strain components as per this longitudinal stress and as per this shear stress, and this is the longitudinal strain x y x z and gamma xy, gamma yz, and gamma zx itself. Next, 3 displacement components. And we have only 3 dimensions. Body has only 3 dimensions. It can be displaced only in 3 distances: ux in x direction, uy y direction, uz in z direction. And so as to satisfy the following 15 equations throughout the body, 3 equilibrium equations, 3 stress strain relations, and 6 strain displacement relations. This is all which will be given here. This is given here. First of all, these strain displacement relations are here. All these 4 are strain displacement here. Relation. This is 6 in number. 3 stress strain relation in 9.1. This stress strain relation here. 1, 2, 3. This is the relation between strain and stress, and 3 stress components and 3 equilibrium equation, which is here given here. This is the 3 equilibrium equation here, here, and here. So this total number of such equation and this prescribed boundary condition. In most problems, the boundary conditions belongs to one of the 2 cases like this. Traction boundary condition. In case stress component determined must agree with the prescribed surface traction. If there is a surface distortion, surface pull, or surface deformity, and at the boundary itself, and all these stress components we have to agree according to the surface space traction itself. And displacement boundary equation. Here, the displacement components determined into should agree with the prescribed displacement at the boundary itself. So all the displacement components should be agree with the what is given displacement at the boundary. In some cases, prescribed boundary condition may be a combination above 2, maybe these 2 or means these 2. And one part of the boundary, the surface traction is prescribed, or remaining part there is displacement are prescribed. Means the displacement are given and traction, surface traction is given in one part of the boundary and other is the method of arriving at a solution depends on, in general, on the specific nature of the problem. That if the temperature distribution in a body is a linear function of the rectangular Cartesian coordinate, then if t x, y, z into t means t is a function, change in temperature or rise in temperature function of the coordinates of the particular point x, y, z, and the temperature are as well as the t itself of the time itself. Here t is time. Here t is given as time. So this function is a given function of a within bracket t within bracket t into x, c, t, y, and t, z itself. At t present time, then all these stress components are identically 0 throughout the body, provided that all external restraints, both body forces, displacement, discontinuity, etc., are offset. If no restraint is there, no body force is there, like vibration, other things, and no displacement continuity is there due to displacement, then all the stress components are identical and 0. Conversely, under this provision, this is only temperature distribution for which all stress components are identically 0. So first, it is time. According to the course of time, all these stress components are 0. Accordingly, for temperature distribution for which all these stress components are are identically 0. These results are obtained immediately by considering the stress compatibility equation itself. So it is therefore above statement from the linearity of the Barnier-Fresh problem are formulated through this equation we have written here as a linear function must be added or subtracted from a given temperature distribution without affecting the resulting stress distribution itself. So a linear function must be added or subtracted for given temperature distribution without affecting the resulting stress distribution. So we have to look for a linear function itself. However, the strengths and displacement are altered as it is obvious. We shall now go through that if a body is subject to a uniform temperature rise, T is equal to T0, and if the bodies of the body, if the boundary of the body is prevented from having any displacement, then the solution of the corresponding thermoplastic problem is Ux, displacement in x direction, displacement in y direction, and Uz, all are 0. Xi, x, Xi, y, and z, when strain in x, y direction, all are 0. Gamma x, gamma y, and gamma z, shear strength in x, y, y, z, and zx is equal to all 0. Shear stresses in x, y, y, z, and zx are 0. Only sigma x stress in x direction, stress in y direction, stress in z direction is equal to minus E into alpha 1 minus 2 into psi into T0 itself. So to show this, we have to apply the principle of superposition itself. Okay. More or less, we are finishing our time here. We have to stop the share. Only one person is physically present. I know he is not present there. Let us finish here. Lecture today. We'll do it after tomorrow.